For a while now, I've been kind of struggling with trying to figure out if Lugh actually likes Dia or if he's using Dia. And I really do feel like this episode kind of gave me a lot of clarity in that perspective, just because with this episode, we get an idea that despite the fall of Dia's family, it seems like Lugh really does care for her, so thus, there's no gain for him at this point. It's obvious that her kingdom is going to fall, at least how things are laid out. Her kingdom will fall, and thus, there's nothing to gain by helping her. Now, additionally, at the end of the episode, it feels like it's kind of just being thrown out, but even still, I don't feel like there's going to be any question as if he's going to assassinate Dia. He might frame it like she's been assassinated, but she's not dying, because this is the whole problem with shows and stories having like a flash forward before it starts from the beginning, is we already know Dia's alive. So it's not as if he's going to kill her. We already know that she will eventually go with him to assassinations later. She's not going to die. But at any rate, this is my thoughts on episode 10 of World's Finest Assassin. I know I probably should have started with that, but yeah, let's jump into it. So yeah, it opens up with Lugh and Tart coming back from some remote island. Apparently they found some remote island away from traveling ships, and they're training magic there. This is me looking into things way too much. Okay, so you have this whole scenario where he goes out to the beach, and obviously Maha and Tart have these bikinis, and it's like, well, I don't see these bikinis being in this world. So obviously he likes these girls in nice bikinis because he went out of his way to make them bikinis that are more modern. So dude has some taste and he likes to act on it. So that's nice, I guess. All along he's been a closet pervert. We know that. All along he's been a closet pervert. But this leads into a very interesting discussion. As Lugh had Maha look into something for him, she has good news and bad news. The good news in this whole scenario that he had her look into is that she found this divine treasure. And these divine treasures are supposed to be these nearly indestructible or indestructible items that have potential. They're like super powerful. And the one that she finds is Gaebolg. And Gaebolg is apparently in the possession of who they deem is possibly the hero, which is this Satanta Maknes, or the Kranzhound. And the assumption is that he is the hero. He looks pretty close, similar to Lancer from Fate, the Fate series, and we have Gaebolg, so it's kind of a little bit of inspiration there. But they're having difficulties procuring this, and it seems like it has something to do with the civil war that's happening in a neighboring country. Now, it doesn't seem like it's implying that it's completely related, but Maha is stating that there is a problem currently, and there's a civil war in a neighboring country, which happens to be Dia's. This kingdom is having this war, and Dia's kingdom is apparently involved, and so there's a little bit of a concern there that Dia might be in trouble. So this leads Lugh to go to Dia and say basically, look, I have power in the name of Illig. I can possibly get you guys safe escape from here. Please let me get you out of here, because not just that there's a war going on, but the concern is that the hero who he thinks is the hero is involved in the war on the other side. So with that in mind, there's no stopping this guy. Your kingdom will fall. The hero who is extremely powerful and nobody can match up against is your enemy. So you're kind of in trouble. You need to get out of here. But she doesn't accept it. She claims that she has to stay there. Her whole purpose that she was born into is to protect her people and her kingdom. She can't escape. So with this in mind, she kind of forces him to take her out on a date. And it really does seem like throughout this date, you have this feeling that she's trying to have this one last memory with him. Like she knows something's going to happen, and she's trying to create a memory and then send Lugh away to stay away from her. At the very end of the whole date, she kind of pushes on him that I'm going to be really busy, so I'll let you know when I'm available again. Which is like, okay, that's literally a flag right there. She's literally saying, I'm not going to call you. Like, we're done now. I won't be able to see you again. Something is going to happen. Now, my initial thought of that was that there was plans to have her marry out to somebody. And so she's basically giving him up because she's going to marry to somebody in order for this entire conflict, possibly. But it seems like based on how it ends, the entire time Lugh keeps looking at people, and she's claiming that they're all trained to be soldiers to protect the kingdom. And yeah, sure enough, once he leaves, they all basically take off these casual outfits, and suddenly they're in full plate armor with long weapons. I'm sorry, it looks cheesy. I'm sorry. When you think about it, it's really cheesy that they all like just rip off their shirts and pants, and suddenly they're all in full plate armor. Apparently, before he arrived, they all threw on a bunch of clothes over their plate armor, and then the moment that he leaves, they all threw it off. Like, they knew he was coming to put it on. Anyways, Oh no, she kept him busy at her house until they all got dressed up. That was what it was. It's dumb when you think about it. I'm sorry I'm pointing it out. It's just dumb when you think about it. But again, the other statement that was made was at some point he says that he will make her lasagna, and the next time they visit, she visits him and she pauses. She has a full feeling that this is not going to continue. Like I said, either she feels that she's going on a last stand and she will die, or that she's going to be married off to somebody for power to protect her people, and so they'll never be able to see each other again. But it feels more like The Last Stand, and this is compounded by the final scene where we have Lugh is told by Tart that something happened. He comes in there. I don't know who the soldier was. I'm assuming the soldier was from another kingdom, not Dia's kingdom, because he's there requesting a job, which is to kill Dia. And so if it's somebody from her kingdom, he wasn't really wearing, I don't think their garb, it was like a green garb. If that's the case, then it might be that they deem her as being like a evil leader that is forcing them to suffering, or that it's from another kingdom and they're trying to stop Dia's family, who is, magicians that are, causing this conflict to continue on. Either way, like I said at the very beginning, I don't like this because it's trying to insinuate something will happen to Dia. And we already know, based on the flash forward, that nothing will happen to Dia. Now, again, the interesting question is going to be, what is the path that Lugh will take? Obviously, Lugh is going to question the assassination. Lugh doesn't have to do what he's told. He's already established that. He will look into Dia and establish if she is supposed to die. What is she doing that would require people to kill her? Is she a dictator behind the scenes? Is her family causing a war to continue on? What is so important about Dia specifically is the big question mark. Why she would be the target probably is because her father is already dead, and they feel if they can get rid of Dia, the war will end. But again, how will Lugh handle this situation is twofold. My initial thoughts when I first seen that Dia won't leave, I knew this was going to cause Lugh to have to conflict with the hero. And I knew he wasn't going to fight the hero now because he's not supposed to right now. He's supposed to wait until the hero, and I don't think he knows that he can beat the hero currently. So my thought process was going to, will Lugh go and meet the hero and not fight the hero, but barter with the hero? Figure out some compromise that the hero will leave that kingdom alone. Help, I guess, barter to get the hero to change sides maybe, or just choose peace. And then, like I said, I think, my opinion, my 100%, I think this is where it's going, is he's going to fake Dia's death. He's going to come to Dia and somehow talk her into just leaving and fake her death. But I know that's going to be something that's going to upset her a lot. Unless she can be convinced that if she is faked to be dead, there will be peace. Like, don't worry, your kingdom will not be touched. I assure you, your kingdom will remain. It's just your family has to fall. You're the last remaining one. We'll fake your death, and then the kingdom will go under the control of this kingdom, and we'll all be happy. And then, of course, that will allow Dia to stay with the harem. Currently, she cannot come with them, but if her death is faked, then she can come with them. I'd have to check back to the first episode. I think that she didn't have her hair colored, so I don't think that they've disguised her after that point. But no, she has the same hair color at the beginning. But yeah, the other, I guess, interesting thing is we had a brief insight into the goddess. Apparently, she brings in 20 years prior, brings in the world's finest teacher, and she's going to have her teach them. So, again, I think we're just running out of ideas. It didn't even say how she died. Like, typically it says how she died, and then she makes fun of them for dying that way. But the interesting thing that came from that wasn't just bringing them in and then seeing how they ended up. They didn't even show how the teacher ended up. So I'm curious if we'll end up seeing the teacher pop up at some point in the story. But then after this, the goddess says, after she sends her away, the goddess says, World's Preservation System Administrator number 3800 reporting to a higher existence. So it's having her talk about how she's brought more people and that she's still kind of looking for more, but nothing really more than that. It's just kind of it not being a secret, I guess. It seems like it's implying that what she's doing is not a secret. She already said that she can't really give him too much stuff because there's a system in play that she's not allowed to break the rules, but she did let him have like the max of what he can have, not beyond that potential. But it is implying there's a system in play that she is working with. Yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 10 of World's Finest Assassin gets reincarnated into another world as an Aristocrat. I was kind of concerned when I started watching this episode. I'm thinking, okay, well, technically we only have like another 2 episodes beyond this. So I really do hope that this show has a solid kind of climax for this first core, something that doesn't feel too baity. I fully expect, I'm fully understanding. I think from the first episode I knew this show is not going to have him beat the hero. The story continues on. I know this core is not going to have him defeat the hero. But I do think that it would be good if we had at least some conflict, to see the hero and see some sort of conflict before it wraps up. And like I said, I think the conflict is going to be how he's going to probably look into Dia the next episode, find out why they want her dead. It's going to establish probably that they want the family to fall so that this war can stop. He's going to fake her death, and then he's going to take her away. But I do really wish that we have some sort of sign, maybe him take a couple shots at the hero just to distract him or something, just to test him out. But we'll see. At any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below, comment, let me know what you thought of the episode, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video if you can, support us on Patreon if you can. We definitely appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.